biggest thing that I will always say, you got to do it. Don't be scared. You're going to cut somebody. You're going to tear them up. Oh, you are going to tear them up, but it's okay because how else are you going to be able to know how to do something unless you actually do it? You can't be
Right.
scared. Anytime that you have that e-file in your hand and you're scared, you're going to scare yourself out of thinking, oh, I'm not going to cut them. I can't cut them. And then boom, that's when you really are going to cut them. Go on
Yeah.
and do what you have to do about you just do it normally. Invest in good bits, watch videos, take your time and work on yourself. If you work on yourself more than you work on others in the beginning, cut yourself. You'll tear yourself up. After feeling what that feels like, you wouldn't want to do that on somebody else. So you'll say, oh, this is not the right bit. I'm not supposed to be using this. That's right. You're not supposed to be using that. You really need to research and look and read and see what bits you're supposed to be using on a natural nail versus what you're supposed to use on an enhancement. You cannot keep using the same bit and think that it's universal because all bits are not universal. You can't
Right.
you can't do that.
Polish in my hand, I'm ready to create each nail a masterpiece. I can hardly wait. Soft pastels or vibrant hues, each tells a tale in their artistry of nails. Nothing ever fails. With each swirl and twirl, let the magic begin. In this kingdom of gloss, there's no end to the wind. Gloss on my fingertips, watch them shine bright. Painted like a canvas, colors taking flight. Feeling fierce and fabulous, I'm ready to ignite. Slaying the nail game every single night. Nails and beauty talk with Asia the Bird. Nails and beauty talk with Asia the Bird.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Nails and Beauty Talk. I am your host, Asia the Bird. Today, we have a very special guest with us today. She is the founder of Gorgeous Nail Couture in Forestville, Maryland. Please welcome Elijah. Hello, Elijah, and welcome.
Hi, thank you so much, Asia, for having me. Hello, everyone.
Hello, glad to have you. I want to go ahead and get started by asking where you're originally from and tell us a little about your upbringing and things like that.
Okay, so that question is always so much for me. So I was born in Brooklyn,
Mm-hmm.
um, and then I moved to the DMV area
Mm-hmm.
um, until I was about like 11. Then I went to South Carolina for about 16 years, and
Mm-hmm.
then now I'm back here in the DMV. I've been here now for 5 years, almost six.
Oh wow, that's amazing. I want to get into as far as like school experience. So tell us about like your school experience, like grade school, college, beauty school, things like that, etc.
Okay, so growing up grade school, I did grow up half and half. So I grew up in DMV schools, and then I
Mm-hmm.
went to South Carolina schools. That was so different. Growing up here in the DMV, like when I moved to South Carolina, I felt like they were on a different pace, like a different level than I was.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it was also because of the school that I went to as well. How they do schools here, I was categorized as like still being in elementary school. But then when
Mm-hmm.
I moved to South Carolina, I was in middle school. So it was like I felt like the switch was during that time period. Like, I'm 12, like that's like 12, 11.
Right,
It's not like you're six and you don't know what's going on. I knew
right.
exactly what was going on. So to have to switch my brain, like just to learn stuff that I was learning in the sixth grade here in the DMV, but then
Mm-hmm.
moving to South Carolina, it was so fast, but that helped me. It helped me kind of grow up a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely helped me grow up a little bit faster. Let's see. And then moving to high school, that was fine. I was still in South Carolina, so I kind of already knew the pace of how everything was gonna go.
Right.
That so everything was fine in high school. College, I went to college for a year and a half. I
Okay.
knew that I did not want to go to college. I knew that I always wanted to do nails.
Right.
However, seeing that nails was not something that was talked about a lot as having a career. It was more so like a hobby. So my family
Mhm.
they didn't really like the idea of like me not going to college. They said, doing nails isn't a real job. That's not going to get you the money that you need. You need to
Right.
have a degree in order to be able to be successful, etc. So
Right.
I just said, okay, well, I don't know what else I want to go to school for. So one of
Mhm.
my aunts told me, well, when you were 5, you told me you wanted to be a teacher. And I'm like, okay, when I was 5. I'm 18 right now, but okay, I don't know what else I would go to school for. It's August. School, I mean,
Yeah.
it's May. School's supposed to start up in August. Like I got to do something. So I
Right.
went to
Exactly.
school to be a teacher. And while I was there, I started working. I had my license. No, I had a car before I had a license. So then it
Right.
was like, you got to pay your bills. So while I was in school, I'm like, forget this school stuff. I don't really want to go to school for this anyway. So I'm just going to work. So of
Hmm.
course I got behind on schooling, and I'm like, we went out for winter break. I said, I'm not going back.
Hmm.
I am going to go to work. I'm gonna build up enough money so that I'm gonna be able to find a nail school. And that's exactly what I did. I went to nail school in 2018.
Hmm.
I was there for 6 months. The nail school that I chose to go to, it was an hour and a half away from where I lived.
Oh
So
wow.
I commuted 3 hours, 3 days out the week to go and get my nail license.
Oh
And
wow.
I completed it. It was supposed to be like a 6 month program. It took me about like, I would say about like 7 months after, any times that you miss out or anything like that. So it
Okay.
took me a little bit longer, but it wasn't that bad. It was just the commute.
Yeah.
The commute was it was a lot. And then the hours, I was going to work from 7 to 3, and then
Right.
going to nail school from 4:30 until I think it ended at about like 10. Oh, it ended at 10. I'm sorry. So it was actually 6 to 10. So yeah, 6 to 10. So I was getting off of work, doing 7 to 3, and then driving
Right.
my hours to get to work, and then I mean to get to school, and then not getting home until 11, like 11:30, because my school was so far away from where I lived at. And then woke up
Wow.
every day
Okay.
to do it again. I can definitely say I was very much dedicated to getting my license.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And yeah, and that was that.
All right, so I want to get into as far as just with nails and beauty. So, what has been like your earliest memories in regards to like beauty and nails and things like that? Was there anyone like in your family that was into beauty and nails and things like that?
So no one in my family was actually into it per se. I
Hmm.
just had my cousins who were basically like my sisters. They, they're family. So it was just like, paint my toes right quick. Everybody will ask you to do that. It's not something that's any different. I see everybody do like, hey, paint my nails right quick, paint my toes. But it was just like, when I was doing it, I was like, okay, I like this. Like at first it was like, okay, they want me to paint their toes. Okay, whatever. But
Right.
then it
Yeah.
came to a place like, hmm, this is really relaxing, and I'm actually kind of good at it. They would always tell me
Yeah.
like, they would always tell me, this looks really good, like you did a really good job. And I'm like, yeah, okay, okay. So then I started wanting to like do like the designs that the nail shops did. And I'm like, okay, let me get me
Mhm.
a little brush, let me try a little something. So it all started out with just me doing my cousin Keisha and Sherry's toes. Like that's all it started
Right.
off with. And after that, I had never went to a nail salon. I did not get my nails done until I was about, I think my very, very, very first time ever getting my nails done. I think it was on maybe my 13th birthday. And that was
Okay.
just so I could feel special, feel cute right quick. And then after that, actually getting my nails done, I don't think I got them done until I was about 20 with a little long nail.
Mhm.
So I never really knew what it was like to get your nails done every 2 weeks or know any designs or anything like that. I never knew anything about what that was. So when I started the nail journey, I was just like, wow, like for you to start this and not know anything about nails, I feel like I was an inspiration definitely just to myself. And I do a lot of research. So when I started wanting to really take it serious when I was about 13, I think I was like
Right.
when I first got my nails done, I was already doing my cousin's toes and stuff, but when I went in for the first time to get my nails done, and the guy was talking to me, I was telling him, "Oh yeah, I do nails," and in my head I did nails. So he was like, "Oh, you do nails?" So I was showing him like my little designs that I was doing. And he was like, "Oh, you do a good job." I don't know if he was telling me that because, trying to make me feel better or to try to make me feel good about myself. But
Right.
he just told me I did a good job. And I'm like, okay, and of course he was an Asian guy, but coming from somebody that is in that industry and they tell you,
Right.
"Oh, you're doing a good job." So you
Yeah.
hear that and you're like, okay. So then went on Facebook and I found this. this Facebook group. It was called Black Nail Techs Connect.
Hmm.
And my life changed forever since then.
Oh
I
wow.
was able to see so many black nail techs. I didn't even know they existed.
Right. Yeah.
Didn't even know
Yeah.
they existed. This lady, I can't even, unfortunately, I can't remember her name right now, but she created a whole platform
Hmm.
specifically for black nail techs. And that changed the game for me. I always thought that, maybe like my family, I was telling them years before, back when I was 13 and 14, I was telling them, oh yeah, I want to do nails. I was like, no, we don't do nails. Like, that's not us. And I was like, yeah, when have you ever went to a salon and seen us doing nails? You're probably right. But then I came across that Facebook group, and nothing stopped me from there. Nothing stopped me from there. And I said, black people are here. Like, we are here. We can do nails. And from then, my life literally changed.
Hmm. And here's the thing, also too, was very interesting because when I was 13 years old, my dad asked me a question, and he was asking me like, and I've always told this story where it was like, my dad was like, what do you want to do as a career? Like, what do you want to do with your life? And I said, I want to do nails. And he's like, you want to do nails? I was like, yeah, I want to do nails. And my dad was like, if this is what you want to do, be the best at it. And that's something that's stuck with me ever since then. I've done nail art since I was like 13 or 14 years old. And
Wow.
I've always been a creative, I've always been into art and things like that. And the thing is that like when I first got into nails, I started, like I would watch my mom get her nails, and she would always get the French pink and white, sometimes with designs and things like that. She would go to the Asian salon and get her nails done. And like I didn't see a lot of black nail techs or any at all. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I didn't think, we existed as much. But the thing is that it really goes to tell you how saturated the market is as far as the nail industry with, Asian, Asian owned
Absolutely.
salons, Asian owned nail supply stores or beauty supply stores, and, like Asians run the
Absolutely.
market.
Yeah.
And the thing is also too, I think the second people that run it is white people. And
Mhm.
so the thing is that like to really see a lot of us exist and to have a different style, like, and there's some people that have done nails for 20, 30 years and I didn't even know it. You know what I mean? So it's like, when you discover what's out there and who's out there, you know what I mean? It's like, wow, like there's a whole there's a black community in the nail industry.
It's a whole platform, like you said, a
Yeah.
whole community that
Mhm.
nobody even knows about. Like, because it's unheard of. If you
Right.
if you don't know about it, of course you don't even think to go look for it.
Right.
So I'm
Yeah.
so glad that I don't even know how I stumbled. I was probably just looking up something about nails, and boom, there you have it. There it came. And I was
Yeah.
so happy that group literally changed my life. And it wasn't just a
Yeah.
group of black nail techs. It was a group of black nail techs that wanted to help each other, which is also
Right.
something that black people do not do. We don't like to help each other. But in that group, you made a comment, they gave you encouragement. It wasn't nasty. It wasn't like, okay,
Yeah.
this is ugly, you need to stop. It was like, okay, hey sis, here's, maybe you should try it this way, or use this instead of this. Like, so encouraging. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Definitely community is definitely important. That's something we have to practice more as black people in, around the world, but also especially within the nail industry slash community. I think that's something that has to be still improved a bit more. And, just considering like the racism that we go through, the stuff that we
Yes.
go through, the hurdles we have to go through to get a fraction of recognition in the nail industry. And it's really really important for us to really, yeah, definitely help each other out and really, shout each other out. And I like what the founder, I forgot her name, but she does Black Girls Do Nails, and so it's a whole
Oh yes,
directory.
yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, Black Girls Do Nails is a whole directory, where people could find black nail techs and nail artists and things like that. There's another black woman who did Black Women in the Nails. Her name is Talia Trammell, and she rebranded to Nail Atlas Global now, but she used to highlight other black nail techs, nail artists, so yeah, so I like how, we're building platforms and stuff like that, whether it's podcasts, directories, things like that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I hope it continues. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. I want to get into as far as your nail salon called Gorgeous Nail Couture, and it's located in Forestville, Maryland. So tell us about your salon and how did this come about, and what was the whole process behind building the business?
Sure. So my salon definitely caters, I would say, more of on like a luxury upscale, but without thinking, I would say like without thinking expensive. Like it's luxury because our work and what we do provides longevity. But a lot of times when people think luxury, they think like, okay, this means that it has to be super expensive, and it doesn't. Because you can
Mhm.
definitely go somewhere and you can spend $100 on a set and it doesn't last, but that place can call that luxury. But I look
Right,
at luxury and longevity, like they both need to coincide with each other, because
right.
it's not
Coexist. Yes.
luxury if it's not like, what are you getting, like what are you paying for exactly? So I wanted to create a space in which people could feel like they could come into a place, get luxury services,
Right,
also feel like they're being heard and understood, because that's two different things, being heard and understood, and also still be able to walk out and saying that I absolutely loved my service, not they did okay. No, I wanted you to be able to love your service and also feel that girliness, feel that feminine energy when you come into the salon. So that's why everything in my salon
right.
is so pink. That's my
Right.
favorite color.
Mhm.
I also wanted to create a space where, when you go to work, some people, when you're around a good environment, a good atmosphere, it makes you feel better.
Right.
I just feel
Mhm.
like my favorite color is pink. If I'm around stuff that's black or red or whatever, that's not me. That's I want to be able to enhance my energy when I come into my
Right.
salon. I can
Mhm.
have the worst day ever, but just seeing everything that I created, everything that I built into it, it just makes me feel better. So
Absolutely.
everything in regards to my salon, I just wanted to make sure that it was girly, it was super cute, real chic, real upscale. I try to do the best with the space that I had, and building up my salon. How I came to that, what I'm about to say may be kind of rude in some people's eyes, but unfortunately it's the truth. So COVID actually helped me a lot with my salon,
Mhm.
and I say that because when I came here in 2019, I left all of my clients in South Carolina. I just said, hey guys, I'm moving back to the DMV, gave them a month notice, and I left. When I
Mm.
came here, I did not know exactly how to get clients here in South Carolina. We had like a Facebook group. That's how we got our clients. It was
Okay.
just like, hey, anybody need a nail tech? Boom. It was so easy. It was like a little Facebook group. When I came
Right.
here, I didn't know that IG ruled the world here. Like if you're not on IG, then you're not gonna get anywhere. So I was
Mhm.
actually doing like I would say like going back to South Carolina every month, doing my clients there, and then taking that bit of money and being able to save it and use it for my bills and stuff here. And then when COVID happened, now I can't go back. So I'm like, what am I supposed to do? So I continue to do my nails in my house during COVID.
Mhm.
And that money that I made, I mean, everything was closed. So I said, okay, I got to get these people out of my house and let me go find a suite. So trying to find the suite that I wanted, it was about like $1,200, $1,000. One of them was like $1,300 for the suite, for the space that I wanted. So I said, you know what? For that, let me go find my salon. I wanted to open up a salon when I was 30. I was 23 at this time. So I said, I'm gonna go find me a little space. And boom, I was able to find my salon during that space. So my first opening up this salon it was a lot, because I personally don't
Mhm.
know anybody that opened a salon. I don't know anybody that opened a like a hair salon, to at least get me started, tell me what I need to do, where I need to go, who I need to
Right.
talk to.
Right.
Everything I did it by myself with research.
Mhm.
Everything that I did, like trying to speak with people that's like on a whole 24 hours or 12 hours ahead of you, behind you, whatever you want to call it. That was a lot of long nights that I had to stay up, miss out on
Mhm.
a lot of sleep. When I got my salon, I found out I was pregnant 3 months later. So it was a
Mm.
lot. It was a big toll to try to do everything.
Right.
And once at one time, you had COVID happening. I was pregnant. I still was
Wow.
actively doing nails. So it was
Mhm.
a it was a lot going on. The world was still closed. Like it was still hard to get things because inventory from different places was going crazy. Things was so much higher. But I had to keep, I knew I had a vision. And anytime I have a vision, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right.
Anytime that
Absolutely.
I have a vision. And
Absolutely.
that first, I call it my first round, me opening up my salon for the first 3 years was like my first round. So
Hmm.
opening up my salon for my first round,
Hmm.
that was a lot. It was a lot of work. And even my second round, it wasn't as much work because I already did the ropes the first time. So I knew not what
Hmm.
not to do the next time.
Right.
So yeah, I would say that yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot of work.
Mhm. I want to jump forward and talk about your nail supply business called Gorgeous Nail Supply. So what was the decision behind that as well?
So okay. So the way that I ran my nail salon for the first 3 years, it was booth rental only. And I only did that because I just did not I wanted to get some experience on how to actually run a nail salon before I ran it like a regular nail salon where people could walk in and everything like that. People could have walked in before, but it was less likely. But I wanted to create a space for a regular nail salon to actually occur. So with doing that, most of the times people, well, what I wanted to do, I wanted to have my own nail products used in my salon. So that's why I was able to start my nail supply store, and it that was the main reason for me wanting to start it. But also I wanted people to be able to, like, nail techs to also be able to have quality products, definitely at affordable prices. So that's also
Mhm.
why I wanted to start it. But my main reason was because I knew that I was going to operate my nail salon differently in a few years, and I wanted to go ahead and kickstart that business so that I would be able to use my own products in my nail salon.
Absolutely, most definitely. Now, what are some of your favorite nail products to use for your nails and also on your clients?
Can you say that again? What is my favorite?
What was your favorite? What is your excuse me? What is your favorite like nail products in regards to like to use like for your nails and your clients, things like that?
Okay, so my number one top favorite nail product to use on my clients is my cuticle oil that I actually make. I sit there and I literally pour the oils in the bottle one by one, each bottle. So definitely know that it's made with love. I've tested out these products. I've researched my oils on my actual oil, so I know that it's good and I know that it works. My client loves it, so that's my number one product that I love to use because it hydrates the skin so much, so that I know when they come back to me, um, their nails are growing and they're growing healthy. And that's, of
Right.
course, that's part of my job. Not only is the products that I'm using, as far as like my monomer, my acrylic powder, everything like that, but also your cuticle oil, that they need rejuvenation from what the products that we touch, bleach, acetone, if they touch in that, just the water, stuff like that. So I wanted to create something that I know that my clients will be able to use on their end when they're not seeing me, if they especially because they're only seeing me once a month. So that's my number one product that I absolutely love. The second one I would have to say would be, I wouldn't call it a product, but my e-file.
Okay.
Without my e-file, I can't get into the nooks and crannies. And then the products after that, your products are useless because you can
Hmm.
put the products on the nails all day long. But if you don't have that one tool to be able to actually get into where you need to get in, remove the shine where you need to remove it from, then your
Hmm.
products they're not going to, it's not going to work and it's not going to last. And also the last product that I would definitely say is going to be my favorite, um, would have to be my monomer. I
Hmm.
use Young Nails monomer. It is universal. I know that even if let's just say I forget to put on my primer,
Right.
because of the fact of my e-file,
Hmm.
because I'm able to etch the nail so well, and the monomer that I use, I know that my nails still can last 2.5, 3 weeks, even if I don't put primer on. And I've tested that.
Oh wow. Okay.
I've tested that. Yes.
Right. All right.
It's just good products. You got to invest in good products for your clients.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, most definitely. That is definitely true. Investing in good products, and one thing for I want to ask this question because I think this is very very important. So for people who maybe are scared of the e-file or don't know how to use it or like that also want to use it on their clients or on themselves or what are some tips you could provide as far as how to really utilize an e-file for cuticle work and to help with the nail in terms of like for gel and acrylic enhancements.
So my biggest thing that I will always say, you got to do it. Don't be scared. You're going to cut somebody. You're going to tear them up. Oh, you are going to tear them up, but it's okay because how else are you going to be able to know how to do something unless you actually do it? You can't be
Right.
scared. Anytime that you have that e-file in your hand and you're scared, you're going to scare yourself out of thinking, oh, I'm not going to cut them. I can't cut them. And then boom, that's when you really are going to cut them. Go on
Yeah.
and do what you have to do about you just do it normally. Invest in good bits, watch videos, take your time and work on yourself. If you work on yourself more than you work on others in the beginning, cut yourself. You'll tear yourself up. After feeling what that feels like, you wouldn't want to do that on somebody else. So you'll say, oh, this not the right bit. I'm not supposed to be using this. That's right. You're not supposed to be using that. You really need to research and look and read and see what bits you're supposed to be using on a natural nail versus what you're supposed to use on an enhancement. You cannot keep using the same bit and think that it's universal because all bits are not universal. You can't
Right.
you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the best one that could be potentially universal is maybe a sanding band. You can't it's
Mhm.
not gonna hurt if you cut yourself. I'm not gonna say it's not gonna hurt, but there should be no reason why the sanding band should cut you. Rather, if you have a cuticle, I'm sorry, if you have like oh Jesus, I can't even think of the name right now. If you have a bit that's like has a sharper edge or like a coarse
Yeah.
bit, those that's you gonna tear somebody up. You know what I'm saying? So I always tell people
Right.
that's afraid, you can't be afraid. If you are afraid, you're going to do it. So you might as well just do it, if that
Mhm.
makes sense.
Mhm. Now, what's your favorite nail shape?
My favorite nail shape is stiletto.
All right. Like, why the stiletto?
Definitely. Definitely a stiletto. It's something about that point that really just grinds me on up. Mine would be stiletto too. My nails would be stiletto, but because I work on so many clients in a day, unfortunately, and I love my stiletto super sharp. I just cannot be continue to be cautious and keep thinking like, oh snap, I can't cut them. And I'm one of the nail techs that do pedicures. So rubbing on the feet, rubbing on the legs. I don't want to accidentally scratch and tear them up because I will. And I've done it. So I said, you know what? For the love that
Right.
I have for my clients, let me go ahead and change my nail shape.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's totally
But
understandable. Yeah. I want to get into as far as just with the nail industry. So coming from a nail salon owner, business owner point of view, what is your perspective on the nail industry? How can it be how can it be improved and how like what's your take in just in terms of the nail industry just in general? And what do you like about it, but also how could it be improved?
oh, I have so much to say. The nail tech industry, unfortunately, has it's gone down tremendously. I will
Mm-hmm.
say it's gone down because a lot of people now look at nails as a quick money scheme. They
Yeah.
look at nails as just a way of getting by. They do not care about their client safety. They do not care about their client's nail health. And also, it kind of just shows that they don't care about the industry either because they're watering it down.
Yeah.
I don't understand why certain people or certain techs don't do soak offs. Like you have to come with just bareness. You should be able. That's time to educate your clients. Like, hey, you see this that you have on? This isn't good. You shouldn't push people away because of stuff that they don't know.
Mhm.
That's not right. You should be able to show them because let's just say, okay, you got to come in and you have to already have your nails soaked off. If you soak their nails off, you're able to tell them this product is not good. This place that you went to is not good, which is why you should be coming to me. Or you should be going to a place that uses EMA and not MMA. And you can tell them how they're able to dictate what is MMA versus what is EMA so that in the event that they can't get to you, they can go to someone or find or notice that no, this is not something that I should be using. Rather than
Right.
boom, they're just coming straight to
Right.
you
Hmm.
bare. They don't know what's going on. They just know that this product that it is that you're using, they don't know what to look out for next time. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
So I have so much to say in regard to this industry as far as like, just people or just nail techs in general as far as like the pricing too. Whatever happened to I get that you have to make money. I definitely get that. I get it. But some of these prices that are being charged for work that doesn't last 2 weeks, that's not normal. We are not the Asian community. We can see things, we know things. So when it comes to the fact of, oh, let me rush them out, let me get them out, you're acting just like that community. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're supposed to be different. We're supposed to stand out. People trust us in a different way than they trust them. But then you do stuff that that community does, and now it makes it look as though everybody operates in that way. And that's
Right.
not the way that it should be done. That's not the way that we operate. So
Right.
it's a lot of, I would say, like a lot of, there's a lot of the younger texts coming in, and like I said, we just get washed down, and
Yeah.
also our community gets looked over. I don't like that either, because for nails, nails can cost $100, $150. Makeup, you're gonna pay $150 for makeup that you're supposed to take off. Hopefully you taking it off the first day or the
Yeah.
same
Right.
day you get
Exactly.
it on.
$200 plus.
But you come and you say, oh, those nails is $150, when at a minimum they should last at least 2 weeks. You're gonna complain about that, but you're not going to complain about getting your makeup done for $200, $150 that you're only going to have for one day is
Yeah.
crazy to me. That alone within the nail industry, I do not like that. Just that alone. It's
Yeah.
just it's just not fair. You can have a
Yeah.
frontal on for 2 weeks, and that's 250,
Yeah.
$300
Yeah.
just for
Get
that.
your hair done for 300
You
plus
know?
dollars. Yeah.
But the nails, it just gets so overlooked, and we're working on something so small, so tiny. But meanwhile, they got your whole head that's here.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't like that about our industry either. I, I
Right.
I don't feel like we get our props that we're supposed to get as far as
Absolutely.
hairstylists and as far as makeup artists. And I guess it's because, okay, the first thing that somebody does see is your face. But are you looking at how long that lasts?
Yeah.
It doesn't last as long as nails, especially if you have a bomb nail tech.
Right.
$150 on some nails that's gonna last for a month. Mind blowing.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Right.
I could talk about that all day. And also with the trends, trends with nails, they always come back. That's what I've learned ever since doing nails since I was 13. It always comes
It
back.
always circles back.
It's gonna circle back around. So when I see newer nail techs are like, oh yeah, I done started this. Baby, no, you didn't. You just did it a different way. But they've been
Right.
doing that before we both was born.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, like airbrushing, that's not new. It's just y'all doing it in a different way.
Yeah. That's
But
that's
it's
yeah.
not new. you know, it
Yeah.
always circles back. We think we doing new stuff, like new trends. Oh, let me put these jeans on a nail. We've been doing that.
Right. Couldn't get 'em on this.
Yes, so I have a lot to say about that, but my most thing
Yeah.
is just people just treating it as though it's a hobby. Um, and
Yeah.
that's it just dulls down people that are really passionate, that have the passion for nails, and wanting to actually um grow your actual nails instead of just slapping on some acrylic or slapping on any enhancement. That's how I feel
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, and I think definitely to add to your point is definitely like the whole thing with the younger generation. Like we're both, I think we're both millennials. I'm 28, going on 29.
I'm same. Yep.
And the thing is that like with the younger generation, and of course a lot of the younger generation, like Gen Z, admire the higher following nail techs, nail artists, and
Yes.
things like that. I do believe that there is a sense of idolism and sensationalism in the nail industry. We've gotten to a point where it's like this caste system or hierarchy now.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I don't know if you noticed that.
Mhm.
Where it's
They look
like,
at following versus looking at longevity of the nails
right,
and like what they're putting on top of the nails. Now I ain't gonna lie, these young nail techs, they can draw. They
yeah,
can draw real good. They can draw their behind off.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
will
yeah,
say
yeah.
that. But
Right,
are the nails lasting? Let me see. Turn your nails to the side. Are they thin? You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Are they
right,
just IG nails? Are they, how long are they holding up? You know what I'm
right,
saying?
yeah, yeah. That's definitely important. Longevity is very, very important as far as just with nails and stuff like that. Like it should last, like, even if it's like a manicure or pedicure, it should last at least 2 weeks or so.
At least.
Um, is definitely a thing of it being where it's so much idolism and stuff like that, and especially like with the trends, like a non-black person always gets the credit. Oh, they started this and the third, than someone black that has done the nail trend or has been doing it. You know what I mean? So I think that a lot of us as black nail techs and artists are, overlooked, undervalued, tokenized.
Yes.
We deal with racism in the industry, not only in the salon point of view, but also in the, supply point of view, or
Yes.
those types of environments. And it's just the fact of it being where black creatives get taken advantage of, or are not
Yes.
paid properly and things like that, when they work with these certain brands.
Yes.
So it's just like, there's definitely also a aspect to the industry where racism is involved.
Yes. That is absolutely true. That is absolutely true. I've seen it. I've seen it. I have seen
Yeah,
it.
yeah, absolutely, yeah. So I want to get into as far as just the common mistakes. So from your point of view, what are some of the common mistakes beginner nail techs make when starting a business?
Common mistakes I would definitely say is not doing enough research on your actual business, on the background or the industry of what you are trying to do. You watch other people and say, "Oh, that looks pretty easy. I can do that too." But you
Right,
don't know what it took for them to get there. You don't know what it takes to do it. So researching is definitely a big problem that I see. They come in and they look at the products that you have, and then they try to work with the products that you have, but maybe you're not as fast for this product. Maybe you're moving too slow for this product. Maybe this product just isn't good for you. You know what I'm saying?
right,
So they don't, when you're starting up a business, it's a lot of trial and error. It's a lot, you're going to waste a lot of money, but you have to find what works for you. So I
yeah,
think that is a big one. Um, Customer service, please don't get me started. They go into the business, but not knowing the background of how to operate a business. You can't
mhm,
operate in yourself. You have to operate as a business. And you have to think about what a business would do. If something goes wrong, you can't say, "Oh, well, she did this to me, and this is how I'm going to respond." You're a business now. You can't do that. You have to
right,
respond with a business mindset. And a lot of people, they don't have a business mindset, and or they don't have customer service. So take some customer service courses. You know, do something in regard. Maybe get a customer service job first, because without your customer, you're nothing. You have nothing. You will be nothing without your customer. What are you going to
right,
be if you chew them all away with, with your nastiness, with your disrespect, with your rude comments, with you not wanting to respond to just simple questions that your potential customer is asking you?
mhm,
Also, I think it's not taking enough time to invest in their craft. It's one thing, you can't just, okay, boom, I got it down pat. Let me start charging. I need to make my money back. No, don't think of it like that. Practice first. Take your time. Get a little bit of time under your belt. Find a few people, or a few things that you can work on, and master that first before you try to master everything all together in one. You're gonna overwhelm yourself, and then
right,
you're going to do too much, but also not doing enough.
right, mhm.
So I would say those are the top three on my list.
Mm. So I want to also get into as far as growing like on social media. Like, what are some tips you could provide for someone who wants to grow a social media following, as a nail tech, nail artist?
So I'm gonna be honest. You got to post them reels. You got to post those reels if you want to have a following in this day and age. This is something that is I'm still honestly learning, because I've been doing nails for so long. When I started
Mhm.
out doing nails and when I was interested in doing nails, we didn't have no reels. We didn't have no content. It was, if your work was good, people liked your work and they was going to follow you on your work. Nowadays, I got to post, I got to prop my phone up when I'm waking up. I got to yawn, I got to scratch. Then I got
Uh-oh.
I gotta show me doing all of that. I gotta could get out my car, post me driving up into my parking spot so y'all can see everything that I do. I don't have time for that. I just want to do the nails. So right now, the best
Yeah,
advice I can say is you gotta fake it till you make it. But I'm sorry, I'm not on that. I don't have time for that. I do too many clients, and that's for those. And
right.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
I'm not trying to be rude. That could be for
yeah.
those nail techs that got 3 clients a day
Mhm.
that have time for that. I'm over here doing 6 and 7 clients a day. we got to
Right.
go. And then
Yeah.
I work 6 days a week. When I'm not working, I need my time, and that time cannot be filled with me editing, adding music, taking things out. I don't have time for that. So, the best thing in order to grow your following, I will say, in this day and age, you are going to have to get up and create those reels and act like yourself and take quality pictures, post quality content. That is what you are going to have to do in order to grow your following. We are no longer in that day and age where you can just unfortunately post a picture and go on about your day. You have to bring attention to yourself somehow, whether it's humiliation type of attention or your work just has to be just that bomb, but it still has to be created in the form of a reel, in
Right.
order for you to get noticed.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, if you had a top five list of your favorite nail techs, who would they be and why?
Okay. Woo. Okay. So in no particular order, no particular order. Um, I am Fancy Touch. She's
Hmm.
in uh, Charleston. She's in South Carolina. I absolutely love her work. Um, every time I look at her work, I feel like she creates something that is not normal, something that nobody would have ever thought of. She is super sweet, very just a very nice person. Her presence alone, just in the salon, like I'm sorry, in the nail industry, she's one of those type of techs that I have observed that doesn't have to say a lot to say a lot
Right.
because her work says a lot. It's
Right.
always clean, always lovely. So I absolutely love that. The next person I would say is Naya. I am Fly Naya.
No, fly now. Yeah.
Absolutely love her work. The girl is bomb. Goes off.
Yeah, I had fly
I
now on the
had the
show.
pleasure of meeting her about 3 or 4 years ago or so. About I think about 3 years ago, I did a nail class with her before. She is just as sweet in person as she appears to be online.
Right.
Her just what she brings to the nail industry is crazy. The stuff that girl can come up in her head with is amazing.
Absolutely
Um,
talented.
absolutely yes, just absolutely talented. I absolutely love her work. The next person I would say Creations by Kiki.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Kiki. Yeah, she's
yes,
really good.
she
Very
is
sweet.
amazing. I love everything that she stands for as far as like I kind of feel like every time I look at her nails, I look it just reminds me of cupcakes and unicorns
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
everything
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that.
That's
Like,
her brand. Yeah. Yeah.
it's just so bubbly, so bright.
Yeah. Very,
Absolutely
very
love
positive.
her as well. She does amazing work. And also too, she is not afraid to help people. I
Right.
absolutely love that. Any of the nail techs that I'm going to say, they're not afraid to help people. Because I've reached out to all these nail techs before personally. My next nail tech, I would say the nail cakery.
The nail cakery.
Yes. Everything about her products, love them down. Love them down. Everything she stands for. I mean, I like cake. I like pastries. So when
I love
she
cake.
when she came up with like the nail cakery, like please, like pound cake as a name for come on, like sprinkles and icing. You cannot get any more talented than that. Her products are absolutely amazing. She is so sweet. She uses her platform to the best, like always reposting other nail techs work on her platform. Absolutely just an all around an amazing person. Just an all around amazing person. Um, the next nail tech that I would honestly have to say, and people might hate me for it, but it's gonna have to be Tony Lee.
Okay.
I have met that man multiple times. He is so sweet. He is very down to earth. His products are also amazing. He takes a lot of time into developing new products, and he is not afraid.
Mm,
He's not afraid to here, get this. Tell me what you think about it. Try this product out. Let me know how you think, or let me know what you feel about this product. When I say I've met him so many times. Always really down to earth, despite how much people will look and be like, oh, they don't care about people in the nail industry. But I mean, he is one of those people. He is one of those people I will say that he doesn't discriminate against anybody.
mm,
I feel as though he wants to see everybody win. So I would
mm.
say that he is definitely on that he's on that top five. Yeah.
Okay.
Him and um what is that man's name? The is it David, the owner of Valentino? He's pretty cool too.
Mm.
He's pretty cool too.
I want to get into as far as just, like how have you been able to balance, being a business person with life and mental health?
Mm. I'm gonna answer that honestly too. It's still a balance. It's still a juggle,
Right.
especially because now that I changed. This is now year 2 that I have changed my salon into a commission-based salon. So like
Mhm.
it's planned like a normal salon, not booth rental. So with booth rental, like my salon was my salon, of course, still, but it was less liability on me. I didn't have that much to worry about. They were specifically in charge of their own clients. It's just when it came to the building and like the desk, the tool, like not even the tools, but like my pedicure chairs, that's something I have to worry about. Now I have to worry about everybody's clients because it's shop clients. I have to worry about the products. I have to worry about the tools. I have to worry about how you all are speaking to the clients. So it's a different type of mental game now.
Right.
Um, I'm never off really now, besides on Sundays. And even on Sundays, I still am working at the shop, doing stuff for the shop. So honestly, just to answer that question, I'm still working on it, especially because of the way that I've decided to run the salon now. But I will
Yeah.
say one thing that I have learned that used to be a really bad mental struggle for me. Anytime I wasn't at work, I felt like I was missing out on money. And that messed up my mental the most. Anytime I did not take any breaks. I didn't take vacations. I wasn't off because I'm like, you know how much money I could have made today? I could have made $300 today. I could have made $400 today. Because we don't get PTO. We work and work and work and work and work. We cannot afford to miss out on work because we don't have what a normal 9 to 5 have. We don't have that security that a normal 9 to 5 has.
Hmm.
So that ran me down for years. And that did
Wow.
take a huge toll on my mental because I felt like I couldn't do anything besides work. And when I stepped out that was even after I had my son. After I had my child, I still felt like that. But it got to a point where it was just like, you are really working and you're not enjoying life. Your mental is messed up, your body is breaking down, and you still want to go to work? Take some time. So that was one of the biggest things for me too. So I would still say you definitely got to take some time or your body will sit you down.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Most definitely. Last but not least, where could people find you on social media and how can people support you and your salon?
Yes, so you can find me on IG, on Facebook, on Threads, Gorgeous Nail Couture. I'm underscore XX Gorgeous with 2 S's.
All right.
And also on, um, if you can, by supporting, you can leave a review. You can tell your friends, tell your auntie, tell your parents, come on out, support. Also, just a referral goes a long way. Just telling
Right.
somebody, hey,
Hmm.
check them out. Sometimes I'm not even saying, oh, come spend $1,000 in my salon. No, just telling somebody so that they can tell the next person, so that they can tell the next person, because you never know
Right.
whose ear it can go into. Just tell somebody. That's
Hmm.
important.
Yeah, absolutely. Most definitely. Well, thank you so much, Elijah, for jumping on. I really appreciate this conversation, getting to know you and, what you do as far as, in the nail industry, being a nail tech, owning a salon business and things like that. You're 40 minutes away from me. So, so that's, so that's the cool thing. So yeah, I really appreciate this conversation. Your honesty, being transparent, giving your insight and points of view about, nails, nail care as well. Just thank you so much. This is cool.
I appreciate you so much, Asia, for allowing me the opportunity. This is great. If anything, you need to come on by. Make sure you come on by too. I get you together.
Yeah, absolutely. Most definitely. Take care. Hello, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to click the bell for notifications. Also, follow me on my social media platforms and be on the lookout for more interviews to come very soon. Take care, stay healthy, and stay beautiful. Bye bye.